everyone, my name's Annette and you may know me as Nettersplays, and today I'm going to present to you my anticipated games from Gen Con 2017. And the thing is that I will not be there. I'm going to be participating in Gen Con. So since I won't be there, these are the games that I would actually go and seek out if I were at Gen Con. So let me go ahead and show you what those games are in no particular order. Number 265. So the first game on my list is a game that actually has been published several years back. However, it's been missing from the whole retail market for quite a while, so it's been really hard to get. And now Capstone Games has it in their hands, and that game is The Climbers. Now, The Climbers is an abstract strategy game where players are trying to get their little pawns from the bottom all the way to the top. And whoever is the tallest or at the highest point of the structure is the winner. So the cool thing about this game is that it's super simple to introduce to players. There's all these blocks and even ladders and little pawns. Super simple, super quick. However, it's very cutthroat and very thinky. So at the end of the game, you're gonna wind up kind of trying to figure out how to play it, and it gets people out of their seats. So that's why I really enjoyed this game, and that's why I would really seek this game out if I were at Gen Con. The Continent of Antarctica. So the next game that I'm highly anticipating is called the Scott Pilgrim's Precious Little Card Game. Now, I know nothing about the gameplay itself except for the fact that it's a deck builder, and it plays 1 to 5 players. Now, what I'm really interested in, though, is the fact that it's based upon the comic series of Scott Pilgrims by Brian Lee O'Malley. Now, the comic series itself was so popular that it became a movie. However, the artwork in this card game is not based on the movie, but the actual artwork in the comic series. So I really am anticipating just looking at the cards and the artwork that Brian Lee O'Malley created in his books, and just have it into my hand and playing a game with it too. So I'm definitely anticipating the Scott Pilgrim's Precious Little Card Game. My favorite animal is a llama. The next game on the list is called Valletta. Now, Valletta is an interesting game because it's a medium weight Euro game. Now, it's designed by Stefan Dora and also has the artwork by Clemens Franz. So if you're thinking of a Euro game, this is pretty much it because of the artwork. Now, the way it works is interesting to me because of the deck building aspect in the game. You're building a tableau and you're doing all these managements with the resources and your cards in hand. However, you get to decide when to play those cards that you have in hand and which ones. The cool thing about this game that I found really interesting is at the end of the game, all the cards that you've managed to acquire throughout the game, you get to take into hand and play them all out for one final blow. And that's what really caught my attention with Valletta. Even though the game is out already in retail stores, if I were going to Gen Con, I would definitely seek this one out. Stefan Feld. So the next game is actually a cheat because it's not just one game, but it's 2 different games. And the fact that I put them both on this list is because they are by my favorite designer, Stefan Feld, and that is Notre Dame and In the Year of the Dragon. Now, I'm really seeking this game out or anticipating it because it's the 10-year anniversary edition, which is also going to incorporate the expansions for them. So I already have Notre Dame with the expansion. However, I'm looking for that In the Year of the Dragon game. So since I'm a collector of Stefan Feld, this definitely had to be on my list. The Oxford Comma. Another game on my list that I'm really anticipating is Custom Heroes. Now, Custom Heroes is a unique kind of card game, and that's why it's on my list, because it's so different from all the other card games on here. And the fact is that it uses see-through cards. Now, just like Mystic Vale, this game uses see-through cards and sleeves in order to change up the card that you're playing. Now, the cool thing about this game is that it's not necessarily a deck builder, but it is a trick-taking game. So it's something unique, it's something different, something that hasn't been seen before, and I'm really anticipating this game. The color red. So I tend to play a lot of two-player games, so this next game is not really a surprise, and that game is Codenames Duet. Now Codenames Duet is a game that kind of changes it up for a regular game of Codenames. Codenames is more or less like a party game that you can incorporate a lot of players, but it doesn't play two players very well. So I'm really interested in figuring out how to play Codenames Duet because it's simply made for two players. Of course you can play co-op with that game, however, the fact that it was just made for two players is what really intrigues me. Fruit Loops are the best. So I'm not gonna lie, but this next game cover is what really interested me, and that is Photosynthesis. Now I thought the artwork for this was extremely beautiful until I saw what was actually inside the box, and that was just a bunch of trees. Now the cool thing about this game itself is the fact that it's an abstract game where you're trying to manage planting these seeds in order for these trees to grow, and also trying to make them grow because they're dependent on the sun revolving around the board. Now the other cool thing about this is the fact that it matters where you place those trees because their shadows can hinder other trees from growing because they block the sunlight. Now that is what really interested me because it's so unique and different, and the fact that you're trying to grow trees in a forest and manage their growth by applying the sunlight is something just out of this world. So definitely interested in Photosynthesis. San Francisco. So the next game interested me simply because of the theme alone. That game is called ExLibris. Now I don't know too much about the actual gameplay, but the theme alone is what interested me because it's all about collecting books. Now everyone in town they're all collecting these different types of books, and we're doing so because whoever has the best collection at the end of the week will actually become the new grand librarian. And so everyone is trying to scoop up not only a lot of books, but rare books themselves, trying to place them on sturdy shelves along with placing them in alphabetical order and having a variety of different types of books. So you're trying to manage all of this to become the best librarian you can be. So just based on that alone, I was highly interested. So definitely gonna try to get my hands on ExLibris. Tequila. So the next game, or actually games I should say, because I'm going to cheat again, is this game called MiniRails along with Whistle Stop. Now I'm putting these two on the same list as one because they're both dealing with trains. They both deal with building tracks and also moving trains on those tracks and getting resources and also buying stock and managing all of that. However, the two games don't play anything alike, but I wanted to just kind of put them into one because they're basically just train games themselves. So if I were to seek a train game that's not an 18xx, I would definitely try to seek these two out because I'm interested in how they play, how they interact, and basically how they compare. So definitely had to put those two on my list as well. Number 1. So this whole list has been a list of no particular order. However, this next game is my number 1 game, and that is Sentient. Now, Sentient is a game that I've been seeking for the longest time, and the release date has been pushed back, and I haven't acquired it yet. So if I were going to Gen Con, this would be my number 1 game, and that is Sentient, because of the card drafting and the card play and the puzzliness in it. And there's also dice involved. However, you can manipulate the dice as well. So the cool thing about this game is not only all these mechanisms that you're trying to figure out, but it's also the artwork and the sci-fi kind of theme to it. It's not very dependent on the theme, but the mechanics that are involved is what really intrigues me. So definitely, if you're at Gen Con, you should actually get your hands on Sentient. Well, thank you so much for joining me, and I hope you enjoyed the video. And if you're going to Gen Con, I hope you have a blast there. And if you're not, well, I'm joining you at Gen Con anyways. So thanks again for watching me. If you'd like to follow, you can follow me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram as Nettersplays. And thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye!